What's up, everybody? What's up? What's up? Hello, ambassadors. Welcome to the Voices Together Live podcast show. As always, I am your host, Diamond. Welcome to a new unapologetic conversation. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Hello, 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 hello. Everybody, the numbers hasn't changed, so we all family here in this space. So, with that being said, you know the house rules. Use the thumbs up button. That is your key to the conversation. Also, use that share button. Invite other people to the space. Don't forget to post a comment. Make sure that you're a subscriber. So, click the notification bell, subscribe to the channel. Make sure you're getting all those goodies and massage the algorithm, please. Help me grow these numbers. What must one do? If you watch it and not sharing, you're doing it in vain. Okay, so stop just watching and not clicking the share button. Stop just watching, sorry, and not taking some sound bites and share it on your platform. I'm creating a space where we can have those conversations. So I think it would just be cool that you would do that. All right, so let's get it going. Let's get it going. Let's get it going. Let's get it going. All right, we here. Thanks for the applause. Yes, I said thanks for the applause. Thanks for the applause. Okay, what's up, everybody? Hello, everybody in the chat thus far. Thank you for stopping by, having this conversation with me. I miss you guys. I don't like when we're missing shows, but life goes on, and I'm trying to grow the numbers. So when I'm not in front of you, I am up here thinking strategy. How can I get these numbers to grow on this platform? I know I'm bringing good content, so why is it not happening? And I know why it's not happening, because people who say they support me is not sharing this content. So if you're feeling guilty, then you know that's you. If you're not feeling guilty, that means you share, like, and always show up every Monday, right? And if I'm not here Mondays, what are you doing? Tell me what you're doing. I'll give you guys a quick second. What are you doing? What are you doing? When I'm not here on Monday at 6 o'clock and there's no show, what are you doing? And somebody remind me that I asked that question. What are you doing? Come on. Let me know. What are you doing? Okay. Since nobody is moving fast, and I know we're a couple seconds delayed because this is a live show, you go back and watch the archive shows, right? I archive a lot of shows. I'm sure all of you have not watched half of the shows. So please do me a favor. When I'm not here, watch a show. Watch a show. So, listen, I want to have... That's right, Jay. Watching old shows. That's right. Appreciate it. So as you can see from today's conversation, let me just do something right quick, guys. Hold on. Okay. This is what I want to do. This is what I want to do. Okay. So this is a conversation I want to have, right? So I want to be very honest and transparent as I open up this door to this conversation, is that, I am not sitting here as a political expert, right? I'm absolutely not doing that. I am here as a voter, as a taxpayer, as someone who is looking for change in society. Someone here having a conversation who needs the system to be working for me, my family, my friends, my neighbors, and so forth and so on. I need to see big change, right? We're always promised changes. We're always promised to get our vote. They sell us this conversation through these debates, all of these billboards going up, and then just all of the stuff that happens. And they're always having what? A conversation about things that we need but never receive. We never receive them. We never receive them. So again, join me in a conversation. Share your thoughts about today's topic. Who's for the people, right? We got Vice President Kamala Harris going for the Oval Office as the president. And we have Donald Trump looking for re-election. I want to be very honest, and I'm sure some people decide to look at this podcast and see that I'm talking about Kamala Harris and Donald Trump. Some people might want to come and troll the channel. Look, do if you want to waste time doing that, that's fine. Um, but if we can't have a healthy conversation, you may want to call it debate, whatever you want to call it. If we can't have that conversation where we can agree to disagree and then talk about why we disagree about that very said topic, then what are we doing? Right? What are we doing? What are we doing? Show your cards, show who you're here for, show who your political party is for. Like, tell us why you are voting for that person, right? And you're not only voting for that person for yourself, but you're voting for that person for your household. You're voting for that person in your community, on your job. You're just voting for that person altogether. It's not like, I'm just voting for me. Absolutely not. We're here and going to those polls and punching those keys in and voting for someone to go into office because we absolutely believe that the person that's going to go into office will do us do a service for us that's really going to help us. But I'm struggling with that, right? I'm struggling with believing that where we are in 2024, the people that's running for office, are they really considering the people, or are they just considering getting the votes? Now, I'm going to be looking down at my phone because I do want to actually point out some facts about Vice President Kamala Harris as well as Donald Trump. And let me just tell you, I started just searching some information about 3 key factors about both of these candidates, right? And I'm telling you that I was looking and I'm like, what do we really know about Kamala Harris? What do we really know about Trump? And for me, it was like a stark contrast. It was really funny because when I go to the polls, not just the big election every 4 years, but we're talking about the local voting for your senators, voting for your congressperson, voting for your mayor, all those things. If you're not paying attention to that, you should know that there is a domino effect of the person you're voting for, maybe not the person you would vote for office. What do I mean by that? So if I'm voting for my mayor, but my mayor actually believes in Donald Trump, but I'm not voting for Donald Trump if he ever ran for office, then I'm kind of not doing the right thing. You know what I mean? So we got to pay attention to the lower elections. And then when the 4-year mark comes around, we know who is supporting us because our mayor, our governor, the politicians that are not the president, actually their policies align with the Oval Office, that person in office is actually trying to get done. But let me just point out something I thought was really, really funny, right? So here is 2 things I was thinking of. So what do we know about Donald Trump? Like, what do we really know about Donald Trump? What do we really know? Honestly, what do we know? And when I'm asking that question, I want you to also consider the politician person as well as the person who was before becoming a politician. Because what we do know is Donald Trump was not always someone showing an interest in political arena, right? I never in all the time ever heard when Donald Trump was doing his real estate, I believe he still does, when he was running his apprentice show, I never, ever, ever heard Donald Trump wanted to be the president of the United States. I never heard Donald Trump wanted to be a governor or a mayor. I never heard Donald Trump wanted to sit in in Congress. Like, I never heard anything related to Donald Trump and as a politician. So I was looking at something and I'm like, okay, well, let me just see the beginning when they say Donald Trump. So here's something. What do we know about Donald Trump's career? Well, what we do know, real estate is a big factor for him. Starting in 1968, Trump was employed at his father's real estate company, Trump Management, which he owned racially segregated middle-class rental housing in New York City, outer boroughs. In 1971, he became president of the company and began using Trump Organization as an umbrella band. So what does that mean? So when he first went to work for his father in this real estate business, right? He branched off under the umbrella of the father's business and started doing his own business. And he was very good at that from what we know. He was able to take real estate, which we know if you want to be rich, you have to have real estate in the bank. You just have to. So Donald was smart at that. He was smart how to wiggle himself in spaces where real estate was his thing. And it was his thing because guess what? Again, he grew up in that arena. His father, it was a business. He grew up knowing this. Now, I didn't say he grew up knowing policies and becoming a politician and good, bad, or indifferent. We don't know anything about him doing that. Furthermore, prior to 2016 run for presidency, Trump had gained notoriety as a real estate developer and businessman who owned, managed, or licensed his name to hotels, casinos, golf courses, resorts, and residential properties in New York City and around the world. From 2004 to 2015, he started in a reality television show, The Apprentice. And I'm saying he was good at firing people. Oh, he was just so good. I enjoy watching him on that show. Let's be clear. I do not enjoy watching Donald Trump now at all. At all. At all. There's nothing entertaining about Donald Trump. Donald Trump is very much the boogeyman in this space, right? Okay. Sidebar to that, what do we know about Kamala Harris? I'll be very honest. I did not know a lot about Kamala Harris prior to she becoming the vice president. Knew nothing about her. I didn't. Now, some factors here. Political and legal career. She worked in the office of district attorney in Alameda in 1990. In 1998, Harris left to work for the district attorney office in San Francisco. In 2003, Harris became the district attorney of San Francisco. Furthermore, before taking office, Harris represented California in the U.S. Senate from 2017 to 2021. She was the first Indian American to serve as a U.S. Senator, as well as the second Afro-American woman. Harris was previously California's Attorney General. 2011 to 2017. Prior to her 2017, she was very active in the politician world. She was very, 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 very active. Very. So why did I read just those little key factors about them? Because one of these people bios speaks to real estate and business. The other one speaks to policy and the legal system. Who do you want in office? Someone who knows how to be a reality star or someone who knows how to talk policies? I'm curious. Who do you want in office? And let me ask you, why don't you know something about what you want and what do you need from somebody representing the Oval Office? Someone who would be over the land of the so-called free, the free land. And that's questionable in itself because this land is not free. If you don't believe me, just ask me how many people gave their blood, sweat, and tears for this land. I'm talking about black people. I know other people have, but I'm talking about my own people because we don't get enough of like patting ourselves on the back and say, this is what we did for this country. And the people that want to vote in Trump into the Oval Office for a second term don't care about the people that look like me and many of you that's watching the show. They don't care about that. They don't care about what your needs are. They don't care about you being of the poorest in the country, right? They don't care about that you have a difficult time owning property. They don't care about policies that take away food from the table. They don't care about women having rights to choose what they do with their body when it comes to pregnancy. They don't care, right, about black men being the number one race of people being criminalized harder than any other race in the country. They don't care about that. They don't care. They absolutely don't care about that. But we, the people, have to care. So I'm bringing this conversation full circle again. Who is the right person for you? And what do you need before you go to the polls? And hopefully everybody that's going to see this chat, that's in the comments, that you are planning to vote. And vote with a clear mind. Don't just vote for a selfish reason. Vote for what you truly need. If you pay rent, you should know what you need. If you have health care or the lack thereof, you should know what you need. If you can't find a job, you should know what you need. If you've been marginalized in any way, you should know what you need. And if you don't, you just want the opposite of what I just said. I own property. The taxes are through the roof. Where's the tax control? Right? Better yet, you drive a car. You may live with your parents. And every time you turn around, you're taking your car to the shop because you can't drive down the street where the street is smooth as butter. Where's your tax dollars going? Where is your money going? The little money that you have. Why is gas prices so high? Why is it that you can't spend a good $200 and really fill up your home with food? And I'm talking about good foods. And this goes deeper than that. We're not talking about just foods. We're also talking about, let's talk about global warming. Trump doesn't believe in it. Karma wants to investigate it and look deeper into it because she believes in it. And how could we not believe in global warming when we hear? Let me slow down a little bit, because as I was talking about global warming, right? I don't want the person who's going to run for the president's position to be talking about these very things to get our vote, and you say we're going to change these things. We need to make changes in these things. And I have learned as an adult that the president cannot do anything if they don't have the backing of Congress, of the House. If the House of Representatives are not backing the president in the Oval Office, then we have no chance to actually get anything going. We have no chance. The system is failing us. This is why it's so important on every level to vote at the lower level, so that you know that when you're voting and you're holding your mayor, your governor, your Congress people accountable, then we know that that person that we're holding accountable and they're meeting our needs on this level will then support the president that we want in office to do the very same thing, right? The president cannot order anything into effect unless Congress is supporting it. If Congress isn't supporting it, then we don't have a chance for the president to actually move things through. I want to backtrack a little bit. When Barack Obama, former President Barack Obama, let's give him his just due, right? When he was running for office, I know, because I was one of those people that let's get this black man into the office because he's going to be thinking about the black people and what we need as a black people, right? And then I slowly, and not too slow, I slowly learned that, wait a minute, well, nothing's passing and he's not signing these things into effect because Congress is not supporting him. And you know what? Having this conversation, you know, when we don't know how to have the conversation, many of us run away from the conversation. We run away from having this conversation because we're afraid to look bad. We're afraid to look like we don't know what we're talking about. We're afraid to look like we're just complaining, right? But I'm encouraging you, have the conversation, people. Have the conversation. The only way there is some kind of clarity is if people dialogue with each other. respectfully. I am on TikTok. The podcast is on TikTok. And let me tell you something. I'm watching some of young people like 19 and 20, 21, like young people who know how to have healthy debates. Some of them lose their cool and start ranting and cursing and letting the person take them off their position. But I watch some of these TikTokers and I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't even go live on TikTok because you got to have 1,000 subscribers over there. So I love how they create a space for people to debate their viewpoint, right? And they debate their viewpoint and stand on that. And you got to come with facts. You got to be able to, you can't just come with rhetoric, right? You got to come with some facts. Do the research, support your position. And oftentimes people are afraid to have a conversation about policies and the political arena because they're afraid that they're going to look bad in having that. Like, well, that doesn't make any sense. Well, wait, my needs may not make sense to you, but let's have a honest, unapologetic, respectful conversation where I could have that conversation with you and you can respect, well, that's what your needs are, and I respect that. My needs are different. The thing of it is people are fighting against one another because we have different needs. And the truth be told, I don't understand. If you live here in this supposed good United States, why aren't your needs for everybody is that everybody is thriving, everybody has nutritional food on the table, clean water to drink, right? A law system that supports them and not discriminate against them, right? And that's fair and just, right? Why is that not the common conversation? Even if you want to vote for somebody else, why the person you vote for don't have those things in mind? Because those are the interests I have, i.e., everybody wants to be able to live in a safe space. Everybody wants to be able to turn their water on and get clean, fresh water. Everybody wants to be able to go into their kitchen, into their cabinets, into their refrigerator, and be able to pull out something and prepare a dinner for their family, have something to eat in the morning. Why? I think we all want that. I think we all want it. The question is why do you think that your person you want to vote for, and many people want to vote for Trump, and I want something else? I want to vote for a president, whether it's Scooby-Doo, that will, I gave you my vote, you're working for my vote, and you're going to keep working for my vote while you are in office. You are going to put remember my vote, and I'm not saying my name. I'm saying that you're going to remember that all of these people in this demographic area voted for you, and therefore what policies in that area is working for those people. You got the data. It's not like you don't know. You do know. You absolutely know. Sorry, guys. So you do know. You know. If you're looking in the state of New Jersey, you know what the big numbers in New Jersey and what those complaints are. You're looking at a roster and you're looking at, oh, wait, there's a big issue with housing there. There's a big issue with homelessness there. There's a big issue with drug addiction. Like, you know these things. You can't pretend like you don't know. You do a census so you know what the census is telling you. Demographic, age, sex, you know what's coming out of these areas. And yet, you're failing the people who need you to be active in that space. I did not say hello to you people, but I wanted to delve into this conversation because it's a quick conversation. So let me put on my glasses and shout everybody out. Hello. What's up, Latifa? Ira. What's up, Alice? Hey, Jay. Hello, Scrapping. How's everybody doing? My same dedicated people always show up. And let me just say for the record, okay, so Scrapping, Alice, baby, when I tell you that they let me have it yesterday, they was like, excuse me, ma'am, where is the show? I'm like, wait a minute, what you mean? They're like, where is the show? I'm like, today is Sunday. It's not Monday. So the show is Monday, 6 o'clock. They was like, oh, we was about to let you have it. And I'm like, and they're in a whole nother state. And I'm like, okay, I appreciate that. Let me have it. When you supporting me, let me have it. I love it. So hello, everyone. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Let me just see what a few of you are saying here. Okay, Rob said, because he's not a politician. Yes, this is why many of his businesses went bankrupt. Absolutely, because we do know that Donald was successful in maintaining his businesses, the ones that he did maintain or was successful, because he has a staff of people and lawyers and all these people. He's listen. I'm paying you to do what, even if it's corrupted, do it and keep me floating, right? And someone who don't even pay their taxes. Okay, we'll get to that. That's right. It's not free. I hear you scrapping. The president shouldn't be for one people, but for all people. Absolutely. Well said, I Rob. I absolutely agree. And we do know that Trump is for one person, and that's himself. That's himself. Let's talk about that, right? And then we'll go on a little bit more. So let's talk about, do the Donald Trump, he wants to be reelected, but in his efforts to get your vote, he's telling us that once we vote this year, you don't ever have to worry about voting again. What does that sound like? People, wake up and pay attention, please. What does that sound like? That sounds like if he gets into office, he wants to stay in office for the duration of his life. That there will be no further elections in the future, right? We, the people, won't have a say of who goes into the Oval Office and run that office supposedly for us. Trump wants to get into office so that he could run the office for the rest of his life. He wants to be a dictator. He said that once he get into office, day one, the dictatorship is on. You want someone to tell you when to move, how to move. You want someone to say that no officer will be held accountable for doing their job hours. So if an officer, like many of these officers who have killed innocent people, especially black people, right, do their so-called job during the hours of operation, you won't hold them accountable? Let's move better than that. Trump says, Trump, what we hear from the Supreme Court, that Trump got immunity from the resurrection on January 6th. So he could not, for causing an insurrection, he got immunity for that. Now let's be very honest, people. Let's be honest. Had that been Barack Obama or any other black person who had done that, that person would be in the jail right now. Right now. This would not even be a thought of consideration. He would be in, or she would be in jail. We understand that racism is big. What the white people get, the black people don't get the same. It looks cute on paper, but in reality, it does not happen. The theory sounds loud. The actions are louder. And all this I'm talking about is connected to who is the person for you to run this country. Who is that person? Because for me, it's not Donald Trump. I don't want someone who sits in the Oval Office that don't have any experience in policies. I don't want someone who cannot sit before the people of this United States and articulate a conversation without insulting a group of people. I don't want someone in office who has been indicted on criminal charges. He's been with a prostitute. I'm sorry, not a prostitute. I stand corrected. A porn star. He paid for that. And then he tried to pay so that would go away. He's been recorded talking about how it's okay to grab women by the vagina, and he does not use the word vagina. He very well uses he very well uses the P word. Right. Okay. I don't want someone who makes fun of people with mental health disorders. I don't want someone in office that's going to take away my rights and tell me what I can do with my body. Tell me how to move this way or move that way, because that's what a dictator does. I don't want somebody applauding and praising another dictator, because we do know, if you have not heard, let me tell you, Donald Trump gave affirmations to the Russia president, Putin, about something he did. Like, this is the person you want in Oval Office. And MAGA, right? You know, we start giving these people these names, right? I get it. But you notice it's funny that someone who's voting for Trump can't sit next to someone who don't believe in Trump and not be agitated. Baby, they agitated to no end. And the funny thing is the people I've come across, we're having that conversation like, well, wait, why are you getting so upset? I'm just telling you that Trump is not for me. Now, I'm going to say something, and I think it probably will ruffle a little bit of feathers. Let me make sure I let me just make sure, because when I'm looking at this, I can't tell if you guys have used your key. I just need to refresh this. Okay, awesome. Thank you so much for using your keys. 8 people in here, and or 8 people watching, and 8 keys were used. I appreciate that. Okay, so I don't want someone in office that just does not believe or see me. You don't see me. And then you you actually align yourself with someone who you want to be your running mate, Vance, whatever his name is, who calls old cat ladies one of the reasons we're having this issue. Or someone who believes that people who are not having children are the big problem in this world today. Wait, what? Wait a minute. You're saying that if I don't have children, I am lending to the problem in the country, opposed to looking at the person who's trying to run for office and look at what he's doing. But the truth be told, there's a lot of Donald Trumps just with different names. You can't tell me you care for some of the people but not care for all the people. Because my idea of the Oval Office is that the person sitting behind that desk, that important desk, cares for the people. Cares for the people. Be it black, white, yellow, whatever color. They care for the people and the wellness of those people. I don't want a president who takes personal documents from the White House, confidential information that could put us at war, and take it to your home and put it in the bathroom. Why do you have those documents? What is your intentions? Why did you have those documents? And what was your intentions? I don't understand why anybody would want someone to be able to have their finger too close to the button where you can push off the nuke button, cause a whole catastrophe. Why would you want someone who's just not mentally sound to have that much power? Why? Now, I'm going to get to this thing I said. Hear me out before you jump. I do believe that this country, let me rephrase that. When I was a child, I believed in that dream that people told me to believe in, right? I believed that as a kid, if I went to school and got my education, if I didn't break the law, and if I dreamed, I could achieve anything in the land. Now, was that a lie? Right? Because I've always been a dreamer. I've always worked hard. If you know me, I am a hard worker. And I avoid the legal system, right? I don't put myself in positions where I'm going to lose my freedom. No, I'm not doing that. And yet, at my age today, I have very little faith in the arena of politicians. I have very little faith that the people that we vote for that promised us are really working for my good. I know Donald Trump does not care whatsoever about what I need and what my family need and what my neighbors need and what the community needs and what the state needs. I know you don't care. It's about looking the part, not being the part for Donald Trump. Now, when I say to you that there is something I am interested that he talks about, but I'm not 100% agreeing about how he wants to go about it. Those three things I told you that I was taught to believe in this country: work hard, avoid the legal system, don't get in trouble, right? Don't do those things. Vote. Stay out of trouble. Dream and get a good education. I find people are coming into the country, not everybody, some. I don't know the data number, so don't ask me. But I do know when I look in certain communities and I see people coming into this country, and they're coming into this country by way of whatever, and they're getting a lot of the resources that people who are born in the country cannot touch. When I go to certain communities and I see people that don't look so much like me getting businesses, buying their first home with little struggle, and the people born here work hard. I'm talking about the people work hard, had the dream, got an education, are fighting to just get in the door. I have a problem with that. I believe there needs to be some reforms with this whole enter into the country to achieve what they say is the American dream. I'm being honest. I had a conversation with someone, my husband. I had a conversation with him, and I don't know if we could really hear each other because he said some things. I'm like, what are you talking about? And I was saying some things. He was like, what do you mean? And, and I know if I'm having that conversation in my own home, I know that conversation is had across many platforms. But we need something to happen different when it comes to people entering into the country. If you're going by the proper channels to come into the country and achieve the American dream, then I salute you. Welcome, welcome. But when you're coming in a way that's making it difficult for people born here to tap into those resources, we got to think something different here. And that doesn't mean I don't care about those people coming from very oppressed countries into this space. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that understand that you can't come into the country with an attitude as if someone owes you something and you have the right when you haven't taken the proper process to come into the country so that you can achieve what it is you're looking for. Right? So when Donald talks about it, he talks about it in a way of, oh, I want to do these things about, the border and all that stuff. I'm like, okay, wait, let me hear you out, Donald. And then he goes on this tantrum that makes no sense. And I'm like, well, wait, now you've lost me. Because I think there's a way to do it, but do it right. Right? It's not fear mongering. It's, making us afraid and now we're against one another. Because you got some people coming into this country and they're treating people who born here for generations, born in the land. You're treating us like we the one came into the country illegally. So I do pay attention to when Donald is talking about that. He still can't get my vote, but I do listen to that because I do believe that whoever takes the office, we need to do something about that. It needs to look different, right? It needs to look different where it's fair, honest, and respectful, and that we're not forgetting the people that's here that needs those resources. So I'm just saying. Let's go dump 2024. Okay. I don't even know who that is. I'm not getting it. Kamala Harris for the people. I concur. Rock on, Kamala Harris. Thank you for that. I hope that you are a subscriber. Thank you so much. I'm interested. I will be checking out your podcast or your channels as well. I don't recognize the names, but nevertheless, Trump is not for me and he's not for my family. He's not for my friends, right? I don't know one person personally that's connected to me personally in my life that I'm saying, like, yeah, Donald. No, no. But why should we consider Kamala Harris? Well, it's the very things that I mentioned on the onset of the show. She comes from policies. She's been an active person in this space. She knows what she's talking about. Are we going to 100% agree with Kamala Harris? Absolutely not. Is Kamala going to come and promise us some things that she's not going to follow through with? Probably so. They all do. They all do. They all do. I know people try to, gaslight us with this whole thing about how she had the black men, the big incarceration of black men. I'm like, okay, wait. First and foremost, I almost tipped into the rabbit hole, and I'm like, wait, pull back, Diamond. I don't know exactly what they're talking about. Like, I don't know what that truly is. And as I said at the onset of this show, I am not someone very versed in policies and the politician and how it really works 100%. But I am a taxpayer. And many of you watching the show are taxpayers, or you will be a taxpayer, right? You're someone who works to support yourself and your family, right? So your lights are not on because they're magically on. You have to pay for that, right? You have to go from one destination to the next destination, right? So you got to buy gas. You got to do that, right? You have to do a lot of things to sustain you and your family. So when someone is stepping into that space and saying, these things are not important and we're going to do away with these things. Wait, what? And what's so funny I find is those very people who want to do away with the things I need and my rights, they forget it's me now, you next. Because a dictator doesn't have any loyalty to anyone but themselves. They may pretend, Donald may pretend to care about you and your needs, but Donald doesn't care about you and your needs. He doesn't. He absolutely does not. Just look at him and how he talked about his nephew's son. You don't know what happened? Let me tell you. Donald Trump's nephew, and he's seen at the Oval Office with his uncle Donald when he was in office, says that he reached out to his uncle many a times. He and his family were running into some financial stressors because he has a disabled son. The son is older, nonverbal, confined to a wheelchair. And the nephew says that Donald says, hey, look, and I'm paraphrasing with the hey, look, your son doesn't even know you're there. Why don't you just put him in some kind of whatever institution place, and why don't you just move to Florida? Now, the nephew was going to him for some financial resources and supports, and he telling him just throw your son into an institutional establishment, and you and your family move down to Florida. Okay? His niece wrote a book, and she talked about her uncle's narcissistic ways, that he stole the family inheritance. So he stole from his deceased brother money that should have went to his children. I mean, he has been a crook as long as we can remember. He has been. And many people who are walking around with Trump for president don't care. They don't care because what they think is that it's only going to impact you. It's not going to impact me. But oh boy, if Donald is elected into office, many of the MAGA people will be crying because he don't need you anymore. You're disposable to him. He just needs to get into office, and if he can do away with never ever having an election again, and he can be in office for the rest of his life, then that's what it's going to be. Oh, I love this. This new equipment. Thank you, honey. This new equipment in here makes it easy because you can hear my baby in the background barking, and I'm like, "Would you be quiet?" Okay. Yes. So let me see what we got here going on. Absolutely shameful. You're absolutely right. Does DJ DJ? Sorry about that. Does JD Vance have any political experience? My understanding is that he does. Little, but he does, right? I don't know what 100%, and that's a good question. Money bags. My understanding that he does, and he's been active many years ago. Like they're really surfacing some of his old videos, and this is where the cat lady conversation came. This is where all of the the border issues came. He said some bad things about Trump in the past, but now here he is up Trump's behind like a tampon because he wants to be next to the president, and that's absolutely absurd. Absurd. What do you mean you want to be in the office next to Donald Trump? And here's the thing. I'm surprised that Trump would pick someone like J.D. Vance because he's very outspoken, right? And I think he has no filter, just like Donald. So they will be butting heads behind closed doors. They're not gonna want us to see it, but yeah, you can definitely see them knocking heads for sure. Oh, I stand corrected. He said, "Let him die." His nephew's son, let him die. What? Listen, if you can tell your own family member to tell them, listen, let your kid die and move to another state because he doesn't recognize you anyway. So what's the sense? Why do you need the money? And you people are, if he's doing it to his own family, he will do the very same thing. No, he wants to do the same things to us. Yeah, I'm not buying it. He's not for me. And as I was talking about Kamala, we don't know much about Vice President Kamala Harris. I don't. I'm sorry. Don't know much about her policies. I do wish she was a little bit more active when doing Biden's position. I wish she was more active. I wish we would have seen more of her. And I understand that the president is going to be talking, but I wish we just saw more. I just didn't see much of Kamala, and I think that makes it kind of concerning for me that I don't know much about her. And now we got to cram in these last few months before the election, know more about people. Let me keep it about Vice President Kamala Harris. We need to know more about her because if we don't know more about her, then what are we voting for? So we're going to get the quicks. And I need her to be talking things that impact me and my family. What is this? Trump's didn't just get him what? I'm sorry, your comment is hiding behind something. Okay. Get him something. The time. But anyway, yes. So I'm really hoping that everybody that would watch this show, I'm hoping that you would really be slow to react and take time to think what your needs are and who's for the people. What person is going to do what you need them to do? Who's going to step into the position for the people, not for a set of people, not for a little of people, not for the white people, not just for the rich people, but for the people. They're not going to see any difference between black and white. They're going to see the people needs protection. The people need resources. The people need fair policies, right? That's what we need. And if you're not thinking about that as you consider going to the polls, and I hope that you do go to the polls and vote, I'm hoping that you would not be so eager to just think about yourself, but think about what's to come. Because you can pull the trigger or you can push the button and vote for the person you want in office and drop dead. And the very person you voted for, now your family, friends, and all those connected to you have to kind of reap your vote. I don't know. I just know we need to do better, and we need to be mindful that we're playing around and we're playing with people's lives when we put people in the Oval Office. We are playing with people's lives. Those people up there in Washington, they make these policies and legislations and all these different things. And what they end up doing is oftentimes not really thinking about the people. My right's gone today, your right's gone tomorrow. And was it worth it? Okay, we have different needs, but could we be respectful that everybody need be met as the person runs this country? Or we can't do that. Yeah, I really don't know. Thank you. I appreciate that. Mexican American media. I'm not a Democrat. Democrat, Republican. I'm not a Democrat, Republican. Okay. But Kamala is the best choice. I agree. I agree. And again, we're not going to agree with everything she's talking about. We're not. I didn't agree with everything Barack Obama, Bill Clinton. I didn't agree with everything. But I do agree that we need to have some policies and things in place that's going to help us all together. We can't just forget a group of people. We just can't do. Is that who we are? I don't know. It's heart wrenching to think about what the world is going to look like if Donald does get into office. We need to put our selfishness aside and really think about the bigger picture. We do. We need to consider the big picture. What would this country look like if a dictator get it? And what does the generation coming behind us and the younger generation now will have? I will say this younger generation who's 18 and ready to vote, oh, they on fire. They lit. Lit, lit, lit. They are on fire. On fire. Okay, what we got here? I really appreciate the numbers, and people were interested in the conversation. I'm hoping that all of the people that came in here gave it a thumbs up. I hope that you shared this conversation with someone. Again, before I end today's show, as I'm saying, thank you to everybody who came in and clicked the thumbs up button and massaged the algorithm and shared it with other people. Click that share button. I appreciate you so much for doing that. I'm just trying to create a space where we can just talk. That's all. I'm not here to attack anyone for their viewpoints. I'm just here to talk. Something that's not happening in Congress. People are screaming at each other, over talking each other, not having an honest conversation. That bothers me. Let's see what we got here. Someone just. Okay. I just got a message. Thank you so much to First Lady. She knows who she is. Thank you so much for popping in. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate you. Wow, thank you. And you share something with me. So I will look at it. Okay. So thank you so much, First Lady. I will check that out. I'm really, again, like I said, thank you so much to everybody who popped in, massaged the algorithm, click the thumbs up button because a thumbs up is your key to this conversation. People were doing it. I have to refresh it again. I only see 8, and we've been up to 16 people here. And I just, like I said, I really, really appreciate that. Remember, your vote matter, not just for the president's position, but on all levels. Be mindful who's running for office and what their agenda is. If they aren't being transparent with you, you might want to reconsider your vote, right? If they're not for the people but for themselves and just getting into office to just have a title on their desks, to be able to get into access to different places, understand that that doesn't do anything for you as a person. We need change in this country, and we need it quick. And we need it for the people, not for a person. So please vote. Follow me on all platforms, please. Facebook, X, which was formerly Twitter, Instagram, and here on YouTube. Please make sure that you are a subscriber to this channel. Every Monday at 6 o'clock, we're having that conversation, an unapologetic one, where we can talk, agree to disagree, and then talk about why we disagree. I thank you so much. Be well. Stay cool. This heat has been wearing us out this summer. See you next week. Bye.